Perhaps Jen Wise try to put one on frame here.
McCarty fighting for it. McCarty with a shot!
The Bruins score! Unbelievable!
She's driving all the way in. She is going to lay it off the glass and in.
Met there by Ray Holden. Ray Holden, oh! Justin Matthews from the outside.
Tompkins is wide open.
Ray Holden coming back the other way.
Does it go? Got a rebound! Yes, sir! Let's blow the roof off this place!
The biggest question that pops up whenever you're talking to a playing competitor is, why did you choose Bob Jones? When I give them the answer, I feel like it was God's will. They always ask, well, what do you mean by that? And that's a great door to give them the gospel.
Christian athletics, it's about something higher. It's not just about competing for your school, helping your school win, helping yourself win. It's about a purpose that's higher. It's about glorifying God.
Sports just teaches you so much about getting through adversity and working hard. Bob Jones pushes you academically as well. I've been perfectly trained for the workforce and church service.
Stepping onto the campus for the first time, it was like an awe moment because you can tell something's different about Bob Jones.
So I came down and I had a visit and I just fell in love with it. It felt like everything clicked in place.
When I found out that Bob Jones was getting a Bruins program, that absolutely sealed the deal.
It became clear as I went on that God was leading me to Bob Jones.
The difference in the Bruins is that they do develop character and that it's not just a team, it's a family.
Coaches have a very important role.
He seemed so knowledgeable and knew what he was doing, and he just seemed like he really had everything together, and it was very impressive.
He knows our potential, so he pushes us to our full potential.
We're working just as hard as teams that are in divisions higher than us, and that's what we need to compete with them.
Their job as a coach is kind of also to be like a teacher and a leader in our lives.
And he really just takes an interest in us as a person, not just as an athlete.
Hey, come in my office and we'll talk for a little bit. And that's honestly one of my favorite times. He's a wise man, and I know I can go to him and talk to him about whatever's going on in my life.
But coaches always strive to make our focus go on who gave us this opportunity.
And I just think that the fact that our coaches are able to bring the spiritual aspect in and incorporate it into sports kind of shows us that we can incorporate God into every single area of our lives.
Sportsmanship is the biggest thing for us, and I think that's one of the big factors that come out of what I see in our team and versus the other teams. We have great sportsmanship.
Before a game, we'll get together and ask God to help us keep our testimony, help us to make a difference.
At the end of every game, even away games, we'll ask them to pray with us. And teams have been like, why do you do this? And we're like, this is what comes first in our life, that, after the game, it all goes back to Christ is number one in our life. And even in the locker room, after every game, we sing a song to really remind us that God is more important than basketball, and we have to set our focus back on Him.
I just think that's something that sets our program apart from others, is the aspect of, serving the other team and just interacting with them, not just as another team from somewhere else, but as like human beings.
Just being here at Bob Jones University, the culture is definitely different. At every practice, at every game, when we break a huddle, we want to live Christ the best way that we can. And just by serving others on the court, that's one way we can do that.
I think it's really important to give back to the community because as an athlete myself growing up, there's so many people that impacted me through my journey. I feel like it's only right of us to impact those others, and just especially like the clinics with the little kids, they are so impressionable, and it's just amazing how much of a role model you can be for them.
We go to the Croc Center in downtown Greenville, and they have what's called the Croctoberfest.
From outside work to elementary schools to churches, we get pretty involved as a team.
That's the Bruin Difference.
That's the Bruin Difference.
That's the Bruin Difference.
That's the Bruin Difference.
I came to Bob Jones because I knew I wanted a school who really held their Christian standards to their sports teams as well. And I really wanted a coach who was going to develop me as a player and develop my character, and that's exactly what Coach LeVere does.
Certainly the emphasis on competitive intercollegiate athletics with a Christian background. That's an opportunity that a select few will enjoy.
Bruins basketball has changed my life in ways that I would have never imagined.
It's more than just coming here and getting an education, but it's also putting Christ first, following Christ, and trying to help others to know Christ, and I think that is the biggest thing.
And I'm really thankful that I'm on a team where all 12 of the girls love the Lord. They're really striving to please Him every day. Being a Bruin has been a blessing in every area.
Now I'm here and I love it, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.